Hi there, welcome to Crafting with Kerry. So today what I want to make is a sublimation mouse pad. So I will be using my sublimation printer. Now it is not a specialized or specific sublimation printer. I utilize an Epson EcoTank printer that I purchased and did not put in the ordinary ink that it comes with at the outset. However, I purchased separate sublimation ink and instead put that into the printer. Now, when you do these types of conversions, and even with a typical sublimation printer, you do need to have a regular maintenance of that to ensure that there is no clogging of the printer head. So to do that, you would want to do regular prints at least on a weekly basis. I, in fact, do a print on a Thursday and a Sunday just to make sure that it keeps the ink running smoothly and it doesn't essentially become a throwaway printer. And so making sure that the ink is consistently moving through the printer and doesn't get a chance to solidify and crystallize in there, damaging the printer as a whole. Okay, so we will get started. This is in fact a sublimation blank, so it is specialized in that it does have a sublimation type surface, so it is sublimation ready. And when we put that sublimation ink on it and apply both pressure and heat for a extended period of time, we'll be able to get that ink to transfer and infuse with the actual material of the mouse pad itself. So it is a very useful way to utilize these types of blanks as opposed to the Cricut infusible ink, which is their form of sublimation. Okay, so for my sublimation type projects, I utilize Affinity Designer, and that is the application that we'll be using today. So I'm going to start off opening a new document at an A4 size because that is my printer takes A4 paper. I will also be using sublimation paper. And for this project, I want to bring in 2 photos. So there's one photo, and here is the other. I'm going to want to try and resize these and crop them a little bit. Whoops, let me undo that. Okay, so I'm going to use the crop function, the vector crop tool, to be able to just make these a little bit smaller. So I can crop out the black portion of these photos so we can just get the image itself. And this one I want to just flip it around so we kind of get 2 images that we can use for our same purposes. I'm just going to resize my images a bit. I know that I have approximately 18, I'd say, and a half centimeters by 22 to work with in terms of the mouse pad area. These look pretty well aligned to me. Okay, so I've just resized it based on the size of my mouse pad itself. Once we're happy with that, we can just save. This is actually a gift for my friend and her very sweet bunny. And we can go ahead and click on print. Make sure that your print has been set to your sublimation printer and that you are using your sublimation settings. I'm also using sublimation paper, and we can go ahead and click OK for the printing to start. And while that prints, so it does take quite a while because we do often prefer to put it on a more high quality print, so it does take a bit of time to come through the printer. I'm going to go ahead and grab my mouse pad and I'm going to pop it in the Autopress. So I'm using the Cricut Autopress just so it's a little bit easier. It's got the timing and temperature on there, so you can check with where you get your blank from as to what the parameters are for sublimation. So for this particular mouse pad, I use 200 degrees Celsius for a period of 50 seconds. But for the pre-press, I'm just going to do it at 200 degrees Celsius at 10 seconds. Okay, so the reason for the pre-press of the mouse pad was just so that we got out any moisture because that can affect sublimation. And we now have our printed image, which I'm just going to do a rudimentary cut around. The reason that I do this by hand and not using my Cricut is because the Cricut print and cut area is unfortunately smaller than this particular mouse pad. So that's why I'm kind of forced to use the Affinity Designer program as opposed to Design Space, which I'm much more comfortable and familiar using. But nonetheless, to get the desired effect, we need to do what we need to do. So I'm just doing a cut around the edge. It's not pivotal to be exact because only where there is ink, that is what's going to transfer onto the mouse pad itself. So that's why I wasn't too fazed by the fact that I was not using Design Space in this instance. I like to work on a piece of just normal copy paper as my base that I put on my print itself. And then I have some Cricut heat tape that I'm just going to use to help to affix this to our area. Just looking for the best way to put this. Okay, so I did make it slightly bigger than the mouse pad to give me just a little bit of an allowance either side in terms of getting my ink on. And I'm just going to fix this mouse pad directly to the paper underneath. So I'm using to affix the sublimation paper directly onto the mouse pad by sticking it onto the piece of paper that I'm utilizing below, just to keep it in place as we go through the sublimation process in the Cricut Autopress. The less movement, the better. And now I'm going to go ahead and pop this directly into the press itself, the Cricut Autopress for a period of 50 seconds on 200 degrees Celsius. Okay, it is done in the press. I have removed the sublimation paper, and here we have a mouse pad. Okay, so a nice, quick, and easy project utilizing sublimation with sublimation blanks. So a very nice way to do a little gift add-on, which is what this is for. It is for my friend Sasha's birthday. So this is a little add-on birthday gift for her. Something very special and personalized and close to her heart that I know she is going to enjoy using. So thank you so much for joining us today. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let me know what you would like to see next. And happy crafting!